is time for the fourth and final King of the Mountain qualifying match as we establish another challenger for Mick Foley at Slammiversary.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a King of the Mountain qualifying match. It is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, representing the main event Mafia from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist. He is Kurt Angle.
Put yourself in Kurt Angle's position, and it's no wonder his focus is not 100% on tonight's King of the Mountain qualifier against Sting, when Angle should be concentrating on a match against the man who pinned him at Sacrifice to take away his role as leader, godfather of the main event Mafia, when Angle should have tunnel vision on adding his name to the list of challengers for Slammiversary. He's thinking about Samoa Joe because he's realized with Nash, Steiner, and Booker all taken out, the hit list is down to one.
His opponent also represents the main event Mafia. He's from Venice Beach, California. He is the icon, Sting!
Well, we know Mick Foley's not happy about being forced to defend the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at Slammiversary. And when you look at his opponents, Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, you understand why. And now we fill the fourth and final slot with either Sting or Kurt Angle. And then you realize that that title match is under King of the Mountain rules. And you begin to understand why Mick Foley might be thinking that his days as TNA World Heavyweight Champion just might be numbered.
As we look at the last two members of the main event Mafia that are still standing right now, I think what Mick Foley did was pretty smart in its own way. He was able to get rid of some alliances. By having AJ have to take on Daniels, that got rid of one of those. By having Sting have to take on Kurt Angle, that's getting rid of one of those. So what that does is it sets up five guys in the ring, basically every man for himself, and it knocks out some alliances that you might have to worry about if you're the champion.
You know, with Kevin Nash, Booker T, Scott Steiner, all taken out by Samoa Joe and the Nation of Violence, maybe Sting should reconsider that free agent offer by the Blueprint Matt Morgan.
Well, I think if Kurt Angle was the Godfather, I think he would consider it really strongly. We know how impressed he was with Matt Morgan after that matchup a couple weeks ago. But with Sting, I don't know. I mean, you don't know what he's thinking. He's got this vision of what the main event Mafia is supposed to be, and I don't know that Matt Morgan fits.
Yeah, and it looked to me like Sting was a little hesitant when it came to offering Matt Morgan any kind of a position with the main event Mafia. I think in Sting's mind, Morgan not showing the respect that Sting feels he should, and Morgan thought that he didn't fit the main event Mafia criteria.
Right now, I'm just watching that body language of Kurt Angle, and will he be able to concentrate solely on this matchup? Because in the back of his mind, he's got to be wondering, where's Samoa Joe? Is he going to blindside me? Joe doesn't follow any rules right now, so you have to wonder what he's going to do at any point in time.
Yeah, but at the same time, who is mentally tougher than the Olympic gold medalist? If there is that one individual on the TNA roster who you would think would be able to shut out all the interference and all the other things that are going on and totally concentrate on the task at hand, the main event, King of the Mountain qualifying match against Sting, you'd have to say that one person would be Kurt Angle.
You know he's not afraid of him. He just wants to be able to look him in the eye and see him coming. And that's the thing that he's going to have to do with Samoa Joe. Right now, though, I think the heat of the battle, I mean, he just goes into that wrestling mode. I mean, you can see Sting obviously looking at him with concern, knowing that Kurt Angle can easily advance to the King of the Mountain.
And they lock it up once again, collar and elbow. This time, Sting grabs the side headlock. Going to try and neutralize Angle, maintain his position, dead center in the middle of the ring. At the same time, Angle's going to try and shoot him off and does. Sting puts the shoulder block into Angle, back off the ropes, catches him once again, and wisely, Angle wants to slow down the offense of the Icon. And while Kurt Angle takes a break, we will too. More of Kurt Angle and Sting, King of the Mountain qualifier, up next on Impact. And we are back on Impact. More of our main event, King of the Mountain qualifying matchup. We know to this point that Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe are 3 of the 4 challengers for Mick Foley's TNA World Heavyweight title in Detroit at Slammiversary, and we're about to determine who that 4th and final challenger is going to be. Is it going to be Kurt Angle, or is it going to be Sting?
Oh, one thing about that King of the Mountain match, you see the pin and tip here, is it's such a unique type of match, Mike, today. I mean, think about what that match entails. You have to pin somebody or make somebody submit before you become eligible. If you're that person that was pinned or submitted, you're in the penalty box for a couple of minutes. And then, once you're eligible, you have to find the opportunity to get that championship belt, climb the ladder, and hang it above the ring to become the King of the Mountain.
And 2 of those King of the Mountain matches upcoming at Slammiversary. Unprecedented. First time ever, the 2 title matches under King of the Mountain rules, as both Mick Foley's world title and Suicide's X Division championship are going to be at stake under those King of the Mountain rules. And how about Sting turning this thing around and totally in his favor? Sting going to the big punches, the big offense here, and he's got Angle in trouble outside.
He's got Angle reeling. I mean, these 2 guys know each other so well. You think of the bitter feud that they've had here. Stinger splash! Oh, he misses.
You talked about how well they know each other. Angle avoids him, and then Angle slam on Sting. Kurt kind of slow to recover, goes for the pin. Here's 1, here's 2, no.
He just wasn't able to get there fast enough to get the pin attempt, and you mentioned he was a little slow there, but the bottom line is it's the kind of move that can turn things around for Kurt Angle.
And that's exactly what it has done. Brings Sting out to the middle of the ring. Drops him across the knee with the backbreaker, and yet another near fall. Right back on him, another cover. And you can start to sense a little bit of frustration when you see the reactions of Kurt Angle towards the referee, Rudy Charles, and the very, very close near 3 counts.
Sometimes when you're dealing with high stress like Kurt Angle is in the Samoa Joe situation, you can take that and channel it. Use it to your advantage. You can take that anger out on your opponent, and I think that's kind of what Kurt Angle's doing right now. He's got himself in pure wrestling mindset.
Wear down process from the Olympic gold medalist continues. Sting going to try and get back up to his feet. He accomplishes that. Back up to the vertical base. Reels off the offense. Series of elbows. Going to try and send him across, but Angle's there to counter. And here comes a released overhead belly-to-belly suplex done to perfection.
I mean, just that quickly, he's taking control again. Another pin attempt as he doesn't waste any. Another one. Again, Sting able to fight it off.
We had questioned the focus of Kurt Angle because of the actions of Samoa Joe. I don't think you can question it anymore. Angle has been so close on so many occasions to beating Sting and moving into that main event at Slammiversary. After this commercial break, more of Kurt Angle and Sting on Impact. Back on Impact. Continuation of our main event, King of the Mountain qualifier. The Icon Sting against Kurt Angle, and Angle able to get the boot as Sting charges in the corner. Both men go for the clothesline. Both connect and both go down. You know, it's so interesting to look at the differences between Sting and Kurt Angle as the leaders of the main event Mafia. When Angle was in charge, so ego-driven. You know, he can be a hothead at times.
I'll tell you what, Mike, maybe a hothead at times, maybe ego-driven, but the bottom line was when he was the leader of the main event Mafia, he didn't have 3 guys on the shelf like you got now in Nash, Steiner, and Booker T.
You know, at the same time, I reflect back to that interview that I had with the main event Mafia last week, and I think of how when Kurt Angle was getting so fired up, so worked up, that Sting was there as the voice of reason. Sting was there as the calming influence, and it's Sting connecting with a series of those running clotheslines.
Well, you have to have a little bit of both. I think you have to have some hot-headedness, some force, some strength, but you also have to have reason that Sting brings. They've got to find a balance. Right now, like I mentioned earlier, they're the only 2 guys in the main event Mafia standing, and only one of them is going to go to King of the Mountain.
2 Stinger splashes in the corner, followed by the suplex, followed by the cover. No! Boy, just that close to Sting adding his name to Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe against Mick Foley at Slammiversary. But look at the recovery by Angle. The quick go behind. Catches him with suplex 1, suplex 2. That time you saw the back of Sting's head just bounce off the canvas.
Here's a third
one.
I'll tell you what, We know how bad Sting wants to get into King of the Mountain. We know he's always said that he wants to get that belt back from Mick Foley. He wants to bring it back to the Main Event Mafia. But Kurt Angle's the same way. He knows the power that that belt brings. Gonna try to take him up for another Angle Slam. Couldn't do it. This could be the Scorpion.
And look at the counter, the block by Angle, and he ends up with his patented submission move, the Kurt Angle ankle